Hi everybody, and welcome to your Quick Fix Tip of the Week, Winter Edition. No, it's been a while. We haven't had a Quick Fix Tip of the Week for quite some time, and I just got to thinking to myself, whether you're down in Florida or you're in warmer climates and you're still playing, or more importantly, if you are up here and you're braving the winter out, what better time to work on your golf game for the upcoming season than right now? So we are going to put together a Quick Fix Tip of the Week 6-lesson set over the next couple months to help you get your game in tune for 2022, so that way we can hit the ground running right from the get-go. So what we're going to do is we have, like I said, broken down the golf swing into short little lesson clips, obviously in video form, and we're going to start with the opening phrase of the golf swing, the takeaway, and we're going to go all the way to the finish, and we're going to break down each part and give you a couple good drills that you can do at home, whether it's outside on a nice day or inside, that are going to get you going. So today, our first lesson in the winter edition of Quick Fix Tip of the Week is going to focus on the takeaway. So there's a couple things that typically I see in the takeaway that cause issues right from the get-go, okay? It's the opening phrase, it's the opening sequence, so it's extremely important to make sure that our takeaway is fundamentally sound, so that way there are no deficiencies, we'll say, later in the golf swing that show themselves because of a poor takeaway. So number one, the first things first is that when we talk about the takeaway, we want to make sure that we get the club into this position here, okay? We want to make sure that the golf club is nice and straight here down our target line, and we also want to make sure that our club face, as you can see, is in good position as well. Couple flaws that I typically see when it comes to the takeaway is, one, we get the club too far back behind us. So you can see here the club is actually back behind me, and the other thing is that when you get into this position, the club is also laid off. The club face is open. So now you've got two issues already. You are off plane because the club is coming too far behind you, okay? And then the club face is in an open position. So at some point, in order to get the club back on plane and get the club face square, you're gonna have to make an adjustment. So again, what we wanna do is we wanna get the club face, club path one right here. So you can see that club is right down our target line. It's not here, it's not here. Right here is where we want to go, okay? Now, from a club face perspective, what we want to do is we want to make sure that that club face stays nice and square. And actually what I like to do is, you can see here, you pay attention to that club face. We don't want it open, like I said. We don't want it actually to shut, like you can see here where the club is actually pointing to the ground. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that that club actually is pretty much toe to the sky, maybe just a touch shut right here. The reason I say that is because the less rotation you have with the face, the more consistent that you can be getting the club back to square at impact. So great drill that you can do to help with your takeaway and to help you get the golf swing started off in a great manner is right here. It's very easy. It's what I call the 1, 2, 3 drill. Now we're only going to get to step 2 today, okay? But we'll get to 3 later. We can't get to 3 if we don't do 1 and 2 properly. So, number 1, we are going to get into our golf posture, and with our left wrist right here, you're going to feel from right here, you want to hinge the golf club. So we're going to go 1, okay? You can see right there. Number 1, we hinge from the left wrist, and we want to get the club basically perpendicular to the ground. We don't want it up, we don't want it down. You can see right there, I don't have hinge, I have too much. We want it to be right here, level to the ground, okay? Then I'm going to turn here, and number 2, once we have gone 1, okay, and you can see the club is nice and parallel to the ground, we're going to do number 2. Number 2 is very important, okay? We want to get number 2 into this position. So now we're going to feel like from the back of our right wrist, we're going to rotate to get the club here, and again, 1, 2. There you go. So it's very easy. 1, 2, to get that club into proper position. And again, this is something you can do from home, and it's great because you've got to get the club in proper position on the takeaway. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about is creating a little bit of what we call width on the takeaway. So when you do number 1 and you do number 2, we want to actually start to get some width, your hands away from your body a little bit. But as you see, when I do that, the club is still in good position here, okay? So 1, 2, later on we'll get to 3, but make sure that club face is in good position, it's not open, and make sure that the club stays in front of the body and doesn't get behind. So I hope this helps. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, and we wish you all a Happy New Year, and we'll see you next time for your quick fix tip of the week. Thanks.